Hello? Oh, Cece, why you barking? My dog is barking. I don't know what my dog's barking at, but she's barking. So we're gonna see if I can stream. We're gonna see if this is possible for me to do right now. Because lately, streaming has not worked out for me. But I'm gonna try because I'm bored and unmotivated today, and I need to do something. So this is what I'm doing. I had already started rather this piece of fan art here. And I figure why not try and stream it? Because, I don't know. I'm gonna go post on my Instagram that this is happening. And I should probably post on Twitter or something, but I don't know how to Twitter. Ooh. Oh no. Ooh. Hello, one person. Hello. Hi, how you doing? Posting on my Instagram that I'm streaming so that, like usual, like one person can show up. But you know what? I'm okay with it. So what's up? I also love Heathers. I have been obsessed with Heathers. I actually tried to audition to be in Heathers. It didn't end well. As in, I never actually heard about the project ever again. That was where, I don't know if you saw my acting monologues, but that was where those came from. I'm like kind of nervous to start drawing because usually when I start drawing, that's when my stream starts yelling at me that I can't stream anymore. Okay, I'm gonna pull up my own stream on my own phone. Nope, advertisement, go away. Okay, let's pull up my own stream, my own phone. Oh, there we go. Wow, okay. That was really obnoxious, having my own voice playing through my own speakers. It never occurred to me, I kind of hate my own voice. Alright, let's do this. So what's up? What's up? I'm gonna try and draw. No guarantees that I will have any success in this, but... Alright. Your school did a play for Heathers. Oh, that seems like it'd be hard to do for a school. Because it's, dark. Dark is a word for it. Hello! Let's just outline where the edge of her little sock is. Ah! The buffering! Don't buffer on me. Just stay where you are, stream. Be good to me. They pulled it off. I can't believe my school actually allowed a play like that, but they did. Yeah, it just seems like when my school in elementary school, which, I mean, that's probably an indicator, did a show of Into the Woods, I didn't realize until many years later that Into the Woods is actually quite dark and features, like, the death of several, like, classic princesses. Oh, no, not several. Pretty sure only one of them actually dies. But, still, very dark. Also, one of my favorite musicals. But you know what? That's because I'm a dark person. I posted on my Instagram pictures of sketches of these two characters with like taglines for each of these, for both of these two. Oh yeah, who did you play? Now I feel like singing Heathers, but I'm not going to subject you guys to that. Oops. Multiply. That's how you make things darker. Ah, nice. The wolf is always fun. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of Instagram likes. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can. I don't know how to mute Instagram notifications altogether. Like, I know how to mute... Okay, I get it, Instagram. Sorry. I know how to mute individual chats, but I don't know how to mute, like... The princess's original backstories are so dark. Like in Cinderella's, her prince ended up being not so good guy. Yeah... Into the Woods very much capitalizes on Cinderella's prince being kind of a douche. The movie plays down Rapunzel's prince quite a bit. The movie makes him a good guy, and the play does not. The play does not make him a good guy. He is actually just as much of a douche as his brother. But they do have some of the funniest songs. So... Can you really be mad at them? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. I need to... I love the princess songs. Agony is probably one of my favorites. I actually have an Into the Woods poster hanging above my bed, right above. I don't know. I love musicals. If you guys could see my bedroom, you would know that my bedroom is covered in just Broadway stuff. And then the fact that in the original Broadway cast, the guy who is Cinderella's prince is also the guy who plays the wolf, which was a weird thought for me as a child and as an adult. Like, oh, the prince is also the somewhat predatory wolf. Okay. And by somewhat predatory, I mean, yeah, wow. Hello. Sorry, I'm like chit-chatting about musicals and it's getting weird because musicals are weird. No, let's undo that. These little, like, stocking defining ribbing lines, I don't know what they're called. Let's be darker. Oh, I'm sorry, the stream keeps freezing. It's mostly based on the musical, but I like the movie as well. I just preferred the musical's characterization of JD, so I like JD in the musical. I'm not supposed to. You're not supposed to like JD, but I do. Hi, Jess! I apologize that my stream is probably, like, terrible right now because it keeps freezing. But, you know, things happen. But I do love the musical's characterization of JD a lot. He's more romantic, but he's also less of a psychopath in the literal sense. Like in the movie, he's like, for the scene that would be in the movie Meant to Be Yours, when he comes up to her room and finds her pretending to have killed herself, he's like, I did come up here to kill you. And I'm just like, Yeah, see, that... Wow, I feel no pity for you at all. And then in the musical, it's a little bit heartbreaking because you hear all about his sadness. She screamed, I hated the movie. Dying. Yeah, I don't know. The movie, the ending of the movie? The ending of the movie felt a little, I don't know, weird. I think it came to the place that it had to come ultimately. But it felt weird for JD to just kind of give up when they hadn't characterized him as a character that would. So that kind of bothered me. Because he felt like someone who would be like the final villain in the horror movie who springs back up for one last attack. Oh, freeze your brain. I love, 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 love that song so much. It's actually, I used to sing that song a lot, loudly, but, yeah. Then apparently my family heard me singing it, and my brother was confused as to why I was singing a song about, being addicted to Slurpees. But I just love it so much. Okay, let's go full page here for a minute. Well, it's not quite as satisfying as I'd hoped it would be. Okay. Let's go with another multiply layer and go for a more desaturated shade. I think Candy Store is one of my favorites, but it also, like, reminds me of a girl that I actually knew. Heather Chandler reminds me of someone I actually knew. That gives you an idea of the company I kept. You preferred the movie version of JD because in the musical he starts off really great and then he gets confusing with his motives towards the end of the musical. I think in the musical it depicts him more as broken and less as psychopathic. You never want a friend like Heather. She wasn't my friend. She just was someone that I kind of had to be around. And there was actually legitimately a moment in my middle school career, if you can call it that, where she was picked up by the rest of the 7th grade class and carried through the hallways. And it was at this point that I was at a different lunch from them. And so I could just hear in the background them chanting her name over and over again. And it was really irritating because my teacher had to stop class and go out into the hallway and yell at them to stop it. Musical is really trying to play off the movie, and I watched the musical first, so that was a problem. Then aging every musical versions is... I'm confused as to what you mean. Yeah, no, that girl, I don't want to say her name because I have no idea if she's even that person anymore. There's a very strong possibility that, everyone's kind of an ass in middle school. No one's really their best self in middle school. So maybe she's changed. But, yeah, no, we did not get along. My first day of class with her, she called me a monkey, which I don't know why she would do that, but she did. And implied that I was ugly and stupid. And then I promptly went to outsmart her several times over the course of that class. And then I had to report the teacher because the teacher kept docking my grade for not speaking Spanish, which is a dumb thing to grade on in an English class. So, yeah, I don't know. My middle school was weird. Yeah, my middle school was not great. There were a lot of instances of bullying, and one of my only friends, well, let's just say we aren't friends anymore. One of my friends in middle school turned into my stalker for like 7 years. It was a weird just turn of my life. Literally everyone hated each other. Yeah, there was a lot of hatred in my middle school. You are in middle school. Yeah. You kind of have to watch the movie first, because the musical, to me, really feels like it's expecting you to know the movie plot. I didn't get that, because I also watched the musical first, and I got it, so I don't know. Maybe we just interpreted it differently, I don't know. It does have a lot of the same lines. I do think that there are a lot of inside jokes in the musical that are kind of like nods to the movie. But I don't know that you necessarily have to know those things, because, I mean, I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. There's a strong possibility that I'm weird. I'm usually weird. Now I have me inside of me stuck in my head for some reason. I'm trying to create like realistic folds in the socks and realistic texture, but I'm not good at texture. You like the shading so far? Well, thank you. I feel like I did her skin pretty well. I did use one of the pose references for the pose. I feel like that should have been obvious. I did use a pose reference for the pose because I didn't want to badly mess up the anatomy, which, let's face it, I would have. Martha, don't try. Poor Martha. Martha deserves better from this world. Poor Martha. Ooh. I feel so bad for Martha. See, I relate to Martha a lot because I was told in elementary school, middle school, and sometimes in high school that I was kind of just fat and unlovable for a lot of the time that I spent in high school. It was a weird mess, my time in high school. But I can understand. I understand Kindergarten Boyfriend a little bit more than I probably should. Oh, I know, Kindergarten Boyfriend. It's so sad. She looked like a 20-year-old cat lady in the movie, despite the fact she's supposed to be in high school. But in the musical, she looks like how I imagine her. Yeah, the actress who plays Martha Dunstock in the movie... I mean, to be fair, Winona Ryder was also not nearly a teenager. So, it's hard to cast teenagers in dark comedies, even when they pertain to teenagers. Especially when they pertain to teenagers. Cried during Kindergarten Boyfriend. I didn't. I don't know what it is with me. I either like get super emotional over things or I'm not emotional at all, and there's really no in between. It's very hard to tell if I will be stoic or like sobbing. But I love Martha. I relate to Martha a little too strongly. Alright. Yeah. She's bright blue socks. We'll go with the blue. Blue socks. Alright. Let's merge them socks together. Oh, that's JD's sketch. I should name that. There we go. Let's blank out JD for a minute. Hello! Your mom made a good point when I asked why Martha looks so old in the movie, and she's like, well, she's heavyweight, and that makes people look older. Yeah. I suppose it does. For some people. Not all people, but for some. But hello! Sorry, I'm like all over the place today. I didn't actually get out of my bed until like noon. I was awake at 8 o'clock, but I was out of bed at noon. Hello, Zoe. Oh wow, the weight thing. Yeah, we're immediately talking about the weight thing, because we're talking about Martha. And yes, I'm drawing some Heathers. I also have a little cheeky JD. I don't think you guys can see this, but let's see if I can turn it. I think you can. Here it says Jason Dean's gun. There's actually usually like a serial number thing, but instead of doing that, I actually just wrote Jason Dean's gun. Because I'm a great person. There was also like a little emblem that got covered up by his hand where it said, I just put JD on it instead of the actual pistol logo, but it's now covered by his hand, which bums me out because I put some work into that. You've never been self-conscious in your life, but recently your family is making me question that. Yeah. I have been self-conscious pretty much since I was born. I don't remember a time in my life before I was really self-conscious about everything and anything, to be honest. Let's shade some hair. Yeah, I also got up at around 8:30. I actually got up right before 8:30. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And what's weird is I just had the weirdest dream / nightmare thing. So I posted about it on Facebook, and then I posted about it on Instagram. But this dream shook me to my core, and it wasn't even that it was really frightening. It was just that it had this like sense of foreboding, and like everything was inevitable. I don't know. But I woke up feeling just like this weight on my chest, and I could not shake it for the longest time. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm very self-conscious. It's part of why I don't show my face on my channel ever. Because, yeah. I've been bullied a lot in my life. I didn't get affected by bullying until I was in like my 5th grade year or so, because until then I had grown up with these people, but woke up at 5:30 a.m. because I had a horrifying nightmare. I can relate to that. Nightmares are not fun. Nightmares are never fun. Went to bed at 10 a.m. and woke up at 7 p.m. Yeah, I feel ya. I've done that. My parents do not like that, though, because I still live with my parents, and probably will for a while. They get really upset when I sleep in too long, and they still try and like get me out of bed. Doesn't always work. Your old art DeviantArt video hit 17k views and you're dying inside. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I want to film, like, reacting to my old DeviantArt stuff, and I want to do a redraw of one of those pieces, and talk about how it came to be, but, yeah, that would probably be really awkward, because my old art is terrible. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you for notifying me to the fact that I have notifications. It's gonna beep again here in a second, isn't it? Yep, Instagram likes to beep like 2 or 3 times for the same notification, which really irritates me. I also recently weighed myself for the first time this week, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but now I'm feeling weird. I don't think it's inherently bad to weigh yourself. I think it's bad if you put a lot of importance on, like, weighing yourself in general. Like, you put a lot of emphasis on, I have to weigh more, or I have to weigh less, or I have to do this. And if you put a lot of pressure on yourself and become unhealthy as a result, then that's the problem. See, I don't know how to turn the notifications off, but I know you can. I've never gotten around to figuring out how to do it. Turn off Instagram notifications for, like, chats and stuff, but I've never quite figured out the delicate art of actually turning off Instagram notifications altogether. Should figure that out sometime. Yeah, I don't weigh myself, and I try very hard not to let people tell me what I weigh, but they do that at the doctor's office a lot. So, I know what I weigh, and I don't enjoy that I know what I weigh. But hello, Reba, sorry, I'm like chit-chatting about deep, festering insecurity, because, you know, that's the kind of stuff I talk about in my live streams. My problem is that I don't put importance on anything, so I won't accept anything and feel bad when I get nothing. Yeah, I feel that. Hello, I think this may... How many people are watching a live stream right now? It says 5, but there are a lot of people in the chat. This is probably the most people I've had in the chat at the same time. Weigh yourself every day. It's not a good habit. Yeah, no, it's not good to habitually weigh yourself. I used to, and then I had to stop because I broke my leg, and I haven't done it since. I had to stop because I broke my leg. Yeah, that's my life. My leg is broken right now, and it hurts, and I just want it to not. Can it not? Yeah, I've broken my leg a lot. I'm used to it at this point. For the most part, my stream has been more healthy than usual. Knock on wood. So let's hope that stays. Yeah, I break my legs all the time. The bright side, breaking your leg, you got to not weigh yourself. You don't worry as much about weight. I mean, I worry about it. I just don't measure it anymore. Because it's not healthy for me, so I've stopped. Because I know myself. We have a really intense ballet in the show I'm on right now, and my knees are so bruised. Yeah, I tried to do ballet when I was a little girl, obviously pre-wheelchair, but I learned one day that you have to, like, break literally your feet to do ballet, and I was not down. I was not down for that. I was a little wimp as a baby, and as a child, as a young child, I was kind of, yeah, I was a wimp. Like, I would stub my toe and sob for like 6 hours. And now, I don't know. Pain is a weird thing for me. I have a really, really high pain tolerance. So, for most people, like what most people would consider some of their worst ever pain is just sort of like another Tuesday night for me. But I understand that that's because I've endured more pain than most people have. We got on like a dark path in this stream very quickly. We went from talking about Heathers. I mean, I guess it makes sense that Heathers leads us down a dark path. I mean, have you seen Heathers? It's a very dark musical. I want my family to watch it so bad. Because I keep talking about it. Like, I was talking to my mom the other day, and I just kind of started humming I Love My Dead Gay Son under my breath. And my mom's like, that's a weird name for a song. And I'm like, yeah, it only gets weirder from there. Definitely, yeah, he's definitely the definition of a dark path. I watched a video that was like Heathers as told through Vine, and it was like one of those people ask you if you're fine, and you just have to tell them you're fine because you couldn't even get into it, and it was like slowly zooming in on JD's face, and I'm like, that is maybe the most perfect thing I've ever seen. You know what meme I'm talking about. I can't mimic memes. I can't meme. A lot of people want to do Heathers for our school musical. I would love to be in a production of Heathers so much, but alas, it'll probably never happen. As I spill cream soda on myself, that show would be fun to do. Yes, it would. Who would I want to play? I don't know. I really don't know. Everyone. I would be happy playing pretty much everyone. Except maybe Heather Duke. I don't know that I would want to play Heather Duke. Heather Duke just kind of makes me angry. Which I guess is sort of her point. It's her purpose. She's trying to make you angry, but she succeeds a little too well. One woman Heathers. See, what's funny is I have sung songs from pretty much all of the characters. And some of my favorites to sing are actually JD's. Want to marry Christian Slater and Winona Ryder, TBH. Yeah, I can see that. They're such an odd, but, like, they work as a couple on screen. Like, I believe it. Okay, Veronica has hair. Should give it some highlights, because hair has those. Did I say you could join this conversation, helicopter? Why is there a helicopter going above my house? This is what I get for living too close to an Air Force base. Every once in a while you'll just hear... No, I want to keep that side a little darker. She's lit from this side. I have to remember lighting. I'm not very good at lighting. I just have Heather's music stuck in my head, and it's like I want to play it, but I don't want to get copyright struck. And I don't know how that works with musicals. Do you think Ram and Kurt were actually gay? See, I feel like the way they talk about their friendship in the play is meant to kind of give you those vibes. that maybe they're into each other. I think they're kind of playing on the joke that people who are homophobic are actually in some way gay. But I do think they're into girls, so if they are into each other, they would be probably bi or something to that regard. The art YouTuber Chaya or Chala low-key looks like Christian Slater. I have never heard of that person, but now I'm interested. Let's look him up real quick, because I'm curious. Nope. Don't start playing one of his videos. I just want to see his face. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I could see them as bi. Part of me is hoping that's true because it gives them more depth than just jocks who die. Yeah. Yeah. I think Kurt and Ram are both hilarious and they make me kind of uncomfortable. Like the song Blue, I can't get behind that song. I can't get behind it. But I mean, whether they're gay or not, at the end of the day, they do get their dads to come out. So, I mean, there's that. Bye! Hi, Carl. Yes, I know. Hi, dog. I wish you could see my dog right now. She's just got her head sticking up. She's darting around. Yeah, I'm not the only one who can't get behind Blue. I don't know. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. I think because at the end of the day, I would probably be like in the cluster of people that they would talk to like that. And imagining someone talking to me like that makes me uncomfortable. Your friends have turned Blue into a meme. Makes sense. Yeah, I listened to Blue for the first time all the way through since the first time I heard it. Dead Girl Walking, both versions. I can only ever sing the reprise or the reprise. I don't know, it depends on who you ask, but I can't sing the actual like original song. I can get through like the Demon Queen of High School has decreed it, and then pretty much everything after that and everything after that first thought that she has about running away. Yeah, I can't sing it. Can't do it. But I don't own a motorbike. Can you imagine if Veronica had just owned a motorbike? Everything could have been avoided. If only her parents had bought her that motorbike. She never would have slept with JD. They never would have been a couple. Heather Chandler would still be alive. Everything would have just been so much different if only Veronica had a motorbike. The reprise animatic Holly Brown did is actually how I got into Heather's. I don't remember. I think it might have actually been you that introduced me to Heather's, not gonna lie. I think you were doing the watercolor piece that you did, and I was like, I'd never heard of Heather's, and then I looked it up, and I was like, how have I never heard of Heather's? And now I'm obsessed, so it's all your fault. I almost wanted to put Heather Chandler and Ram and Kurt in this picture, but I don't know where I would have put them. I don't know. Maybe I still will. The 16-hour water piece. Yep. That one. Personally, I can't really get into musicals. I am not that person. My entire room is Broadway. I've actually written a musical. I don't think it'll ever go anywhere, and it would need revision if it did, but I've written a musical. I didn't write actually any of the music for it, because I don't know how to write the actual, like, sheet music and stuff. But I wrote a fair portion of the lyrics, and I have the entire script storyboarded, but I don't have anyone to help me with the music, so I stopped and gave up on my dreams. Oh no, I'm wearing a scrunchie, but it's not the Heather scrunchie. What happened to my Heather scrunchie? I had this bright red scrunchie on yesterday, and it was so perfect. Now I'm wearing a black one, so I guess I'm wearing a JD scrunchie? My best friend's girlfriend is the definition of a musical fanatic. Yeah, my entire room. So let's think about how many Broadway posters I have in my room. Okay, so I have 3 above my bed, and then along the wall I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more, and then 3 frames full of 6 individual booklets for musicals I've actually physically seen. I have problems. Hello, Undead Rose. Sorry, I was talking about how much of a fanatic I am. I am very much of a fanatic. Musicals are one of those things I have to be in a specific mood for. I don't know why. I think musicals for me are kind of one of those things that help change my mood. There's only ever been one musical that I absolutely dislike. So, yeah, no, there's only one that I really genuinely dislike. The only way I can really enjoy a musical is if I watch it live. I think that's how I most enjoy musicals, going to see them. I don't know, musicals have just always had a really special place in my heart ever since I was a little girl. And I almost starred in a musical when I was younger. I almost got to play Annie in a production of Annie, and then my family had to move because my dad lost his job. So then we moved out of the state, and my best friend took the role, and she never stopped gloating about it, and so we're not friends anymore. Yeah, she used to, like, rub it in my face, and then she would always call me and be like, yeah, you have to talk to me about this musical, and I'm like, I really don't wanna. Like, if we never talk about it again. Still haven't seen Hamilton. I haven't either. I haven't even heard all of the songs from it. I've heard more than I care to, like, I originally planned to not hear any songs until I could see it live. And then that plan has been shot out of the water because I have now heard a great many. Okay. What do I want to color next? What do I want to color next? So, stop skin. There. I like musicals, but I prefer just listening to the soundtrack songs. Yeah, I mean, I like music in general. But there's only ever been one musical that I actually dislike, and I will never go to see it again. I'm one of those people to get into things and the trend has passed or everyone starts to dislike it. I can relate. I can relate to that. I love Heather's, or not Heather's, I also love Heather's outfit. Heather's outfit is fun, but I like the little, like, polka dots on Veronica's sleeves. Hello, stream, I noticed that you are buffering. Don't pause on me, stream. What do you think of the draw this in your style trend? I think it's cool, and I think that it's very interesting. The only reason I haven't done it is mostly because I don't feel like, I don't know, I feel weird about it, because I feel like sometimes, like, with the eye trend and with the draw this in your style trend, I just feel like I'm so tiny in terms of followers and subscribers and stuff that, like, it's weird for me to jump on the trend, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe that's just a weird mindset that I've put myself in. I like hearing the soundtrack maybe because I imagine the whole story in my head based on the soundtrack. So in some ways it's like reading the book but never watching the movie. Yeah, I see that. I see that. I think for me, I don't know. I enjoy the art of seeing the expressions on people's faces. And when I can imagine the story, I also like to imagine it. Oh no. Thunder. Uh-oh. You okay, Cara? Come here. Come here, doggo. Come here. My dog is, like, deathly afraid of storms, so when she hears thunder, she freaks out. Come here. Stop it. Come here. Come on. I know. You're such a big dog. It's monsoon season, and the monsoons have been pretty light lately, but right now there seems to be a pretty big one coming. Watched all of Heather's First by just fan animatics alone, so I got a good visual interpretation. I love animatics. I love them. I want to make one, but I'm not very good at, like, character consistency. Like, there's a reason I rarely redraw characters on my channel, because I'm, like, terrible at drawing the same character the same way twice. Hi, Cara. Are you okay? You okay? Yeah. My big dog, I don't know if you guys have seen my dogs. I've talked about my dogs a lot. But my big dog is deathly afraid of storms. And we have this theory that it's because when she was a puppy, they found her out in the desert in the middle of monsoon season with her mother and their other litter of puppies, and her mother did not make it. So we theorize that whatever it was that injured her mother in the desert, she still associates that predator with the sound of thunder. And it was probably Coyote. Noticed a weak dog and went after it or something. But my Cara, my big dog, whenever she hears thunder, she starts freaking out because I think she associates it with giant coyote trying to come and attack her and her litter. So. Oh, Cara. Yeah. She used to have, when she was a very little puppy, she used to have nightmares where, like, you know when dogs start falling asleep and they just start napping because they're dogs and they can. And she would be laying there in the middle of my floor and all of a sudden she would just start whining and tossing and clawing, and you would try and pick her up and she would just start squealing. And it was terrifying because you couldn't get her to calm down for anything. But she's calmed down a bit since then. Huh, you've calmed down. Yes, you have. You want your toy? Let's throw your toy. Distract you. Run it around the table. I'm not throwing it. Oh, there you go. Oh, Coco. Oh! As my dog crashes into the counter. I would probably give up in 10 minutes of working on an animatic. Same. I don't think I have the patience for that, which is bad considering I want to make a comic. Yeah. I would love to sit down and make a comic or an animatic, and I tell myself that I wouldn't have the patience, but I totally would. But I don't know. It's just the consistency that I would have to draw in the same style for a long period of time. I don't think I'm at that point where I can consistently do that, you know? I would probably, if I ever say I'm going to do a comic, I'll probably be like Jenna, and it'll be like, I'll release it in 2019, and 2021 comes and it's still not out. No tea, no shade. Love you, Jenna. Yeah, my doggo's had an interesting little life. Huh, doggo? Oh, now she wants me to throw her toy again. Well, I'm drawing, so not happening. Love you, doggo. My head just keeps cycling through random musical songs now. The comic meme. Yeah. It's like that SpongeBob meme where it's like 3 years later. I don't know, I can't do that voice. I can do a lot of accents, but French is not one of them. Neither is Australian, unless I'm having like a really good day. For some reason, Australian, I can either do it really well or I can do it not at all. Veronica has like a little brooch that she wears, like right here, but I can't figure out how to draw that. I can't make it work. Also, I double-checked Shrek the Third, and the school's name is Worcestershire. Yeah, that's funny. All the memes. I don't... See, here's the thing. I am either very meme-obsessed or not at all. Like, I am either very in the meme, or I have no idea what people are talking about. Which is really weird because my brother likes to reference memes, and then whenever I don't get it, he gets really disappointed in me. But that's a story for another day. My bloodstream consists of memes and vines. Yup. I want to draw Heather's character and color it in graphite right now because I'm watching the stream. Do it. Do it and tag me in it. Why not? I hope the stream is behaving. I think this is the longest I've managed to keep a stream online. Knocking on wood again. Honestly, I haven't watched any of the Shrek movies in a long time. I don't know what it was. I think I hit a point where there was just so much meme around Shrek that I got kind of tired of dealing with the meme culture around it, and then it kind of made watching the actual movies, like, just all I could think about was the memes. Which Heather's character should I draw? I don't know. Who's your favorite? I wouldn't be able to answer that question, so I think it depends on the day. Some days I am fully team Heather McNamara. Some days I'm full Heather Chandler. I don't know. Most days I'm either Veronica or JD. I don't know. Veronica is just... She reminds me of myself in all the worst ways. Like, she reminds me of the darker parts of myself. Because I'm a very twisted person at my core. I don't know if you've noticed. Though you will soon you will soon get to find out just how twisted I am, because most people, when I did my Instagram poll, voted to see my dystopia before they see my apocalypse. And both of them would have showcased that I'm a little twisted, but the dystopia definitely more than the apocalypse, because the apocalypse is like, I mean, okay, it's the end of the world. But the dystopia is, ooh, it's the darkest parts of my brain coming out to play, so that'll be fun. I was talking to Zoe and Jess and Sammy about it, and yeah, no, it's dark. I didn't even get into like some of the darkest parts of it, so that's gonna be an interesting set of videos to film. So excited for that video. Well, I'm glad you're excited for it. I haven't started drawing those characters yet. If I'm done with Veronica before I need to stop streaming, I might start drawing some of that stuff. I don't know. Maybe. I have quite a few characters to introduce in that one. Though one of my favorites has got to be Archibald. He's the comic relief character of that entire series. Like, everyone can get really serious, but he very rarely does. He's probably one of my favorites in that way. Considering the fact I've only ever drawn Heather Chandler, I think I should try and draw someone else. Yeah, why not? I'm really kind of challenging myself to draw more male characters because I'm not very good at them. I think I'm getting better. Like, I'm really, really proud of a drawing of one of my characters that I did, which I almost just spoiled because I forgot that video hasn't come up yet. Yes, you should do your editing, Zoe. Editing is important. Not always fun, but important. I'm like, why is there nothing showing up? Because I was in the eraser mode. That's why. Oh yeah, collabs. You have to get a collab out mostly on time. Like, I can understand, like, it won't always be possible, but if you can get a collab out on time, collabs are important to get out on time. I say that like I've done huge collabs. I haven't. I just know in theory. JD, because your whole story is dark and black and white and sad, like the graphite I will use to color. I like that. I have weird feelings about JD's mom. Like, having met JD's dad, I understand that that would be a dysfunctional family and that she wouldn't want to live in that. But, like, she walks into a library and waves at her son. Like, come on. Come on. Your partner is like 9 hours ahead of you. Yeah, that's always the fun time zones. Time zones are fun. Your mom jokes hurt JD on a personal level, and he just dies inside when someone in high school makes one, right? I feel like JD is less the person who, like, dies inside when someone makes those jokes and more the person, like, who just casually goes, not anymore, like he does in the Freeze Your Brain song. Does your mommy know you eat all that junk? Not anymore. I just imagine being Veronica in that moment and just having a moment of, like, slow realization. Got back to them 9 p.m. my time. It was like 6 a.m. the next day for them. Oh no! Silly me, he's already dead inside. So true. Oh, JD. JD. I love him, but I know I shouldn't. I can't imagine that lifestyle, though, like moving constantly from place to place, back and forth, with very little sense of stability. Like, that would have a horrible impact on a teenager's behavior. There's my inner psychologist coming out for the day. Maybe that's why I like JD so much, because he seriously needs a therapist, and I'm training to be one. I have that tendency of being attracted and not like necessarily like romantically, but like being drawn to, I should say, people who need psychological intervention. It's not a good quality of mine. But I get very like protective of people. But yeah, JD is a psychologist's dream and nightmare all at once. The Scrawler Box this month was about bullet journaling, and I have no idea where to start. I don't even really know what bullet journaling is, to be perfectly honest. Like, I keep hearing people talk about it, but I really don't know what they're talking about when they're talking about it. I just sort of sit there and people are like, keep a bullet journal, and I'm just like, what does that mean? What is a bullet journal? If only JD made internet friends, even when you move, internet friends come with you. Right? The internet would have solved all of JD's problems. No, that's a lie. It would have not done any of those things. The internet is a great place to meet people, and sometimes it's an even worse place to meet people. Let's see. Full opacity. Okay, let's smooth out the shading a little bit. Writing down all your tasks and planning ahead. Seems like a homemade planner. Ah. Yeah, I have never really understood planners. Like, I keep getting them from my school. Like, schools keep handing out planners to me, and I'm just like, yeah, these don't actually help me. I don't know what it is. I have never been one who found planners helpful. I think because I'm just naturally so forgetful. Like, the only time I've ever been written up for anything, it was that I had not had my planner signed because I just forgot. And that's the only thing I've ever been written up for. Which is the most obnoxious reason to write someone up, in my opinion. If JD got bullied on the internet, he would be in a pickle because he just kills everyone who bullies him. We can't kill people who live on the internet. That's not true. You can't. Wow, that was a really dark thing for me to say. Because no one knows where half the people online live. I mean, you can find out, but I don't think we should go into the semantics of how JD would go about that. I feel like JD needs a therapist. You'd think that JD's dad would at least invest in a therapist, but I mean, you know, never mind. JD's dad doesn't seem like the kind who would do that. My high school planner was stuffed with printer paper for drawing. Yeah, what's funny is I didn't really draw a lot. Like, I drew a lot in middle school and in my freshman year of high school, and then I stopped drawing for about a year and a half, where I just didn't draw anything, and then I came back to it, so. Then when I came back to it, I started mostly with, like, digital art and stuff, so I didn't really use paper. And most of that art is in the deep, dark, DeviantArt abyss, where it belongs. People could probably find my old DeviantArt pretty easily, but no one seems to want to, so I'm okay with it. Drawing was the only way to get through that hell and then save. Yeah, The deep, dark DeviantArt hole where it belongs. I need to crisp this little shadow up here. Really emphasize that this is an arm. And give it some dimensionality. Without, I don't know, overdoing it. I don't know how to shade, guys. The real test is, would JD want to go to therapy? Or would he repress therapy and hit his father a little more if his father were to try and take him to therapy? I feel like JD would be apathetic. But I feel like he would do it if Veronica kind of pushed him towards it. Before the murder. Pre-Heather murder, but by then they had kind of convinced him that life was war, as she says. Pre-Heather murder, I think he might have been persuaded. People keep watching my account. It's like they expect me to post in the future. My DeviantArt is a graveyard. What's funny is I actually made a new DeviantArt when I started doing, like, YouTube art again. And when I started posting on YouTube more. And then, I don't know. I keep forgetting to go on DeviantArt. And no one really follows me on there, so I mean, whatever. Like, now that I have some of the darker shadows in there, I can come back in and add a little bit more shadow over on this side of the arm. Now that it won't muddy up my definition. My Instagram is my most active account, and even that's pretty dead. It is, Jess. It's a shame, because I like your art. I like your art a lot. I love the drawing that you did of Magdale. Is that how we're pronouncing it? Is that how that's pronounced? I don't know. Let's throw a dog toy. My dog keeps looking at me, like, expectantly. No, little dog, no. Go lay down. Go lay down. We got a new couch, so we've implemented a rule that none of the dogs are allowed on the couch, unless we, like, call them up. And my little dog has yet to figure that out. It was so good, yeah. Going to start posting more, hopefully. Well, good. Let's go over the top. What are you... What? How did that happen? Time for some highlights. Who doesn't like a good highlight? I actually have a character whose nickname is Highlight. His nickname with his boyfriend. That's because he can manipulate light. Poor Holly Bell. I know. Poor Holly. All of the sadness. All the character sadness. Every social media site I have is just low quality art posts and videos. I mean, TBH, same. Same. That's my brand. Low quality art. I enjoy what I do, but that doesn't mean I'm always good at it. Do I like this jacket? Am I a fan of this jacket? I don't know. Let's let the jacket sit for a minute. Let's do little buttons. As I go ridiculously quiet. I'm sorry, my brain is still not convinced that I'm awake. I don't know why, but it's like, I think it's probably got to do with just the fact that I'm on some antibiotics right now. And they're just sort of kicking my butt, putting my system through the ringer. But I'm just extra sleepy all the time. Which means I don't always make sense. How you doing, stream? Okay. Then I didn't realize until just recently when I was looking at the buttons on. I was looking at Veronica's costume, or not costume. I mean, I guess costume. Um, to try and see what it looked like, but I didn't really realize just like what intricate details were in her look. So like these little intricate buttons, and I never realized how detailed Veronica's whole getup was. On stage anyway. Kind of want to turn on like the Heathers soundtrack in the background, but that's risky. Yeah, I like the jacket. Let's go with the jacket. Why not? Why not? I need to change the background color a little bit though, so I can draw the white parts of her outfit. So let's go with a light gray. There we go. Skin. There we go. Socks. The chat is very quiet. I've been streaming for over an hour. I did not think I'd been streaming that long. Stream. Catch up to me, stream. What music is everyone into? I, personally, am into pretty much every kind of music there is, which I know sounds like a cop-out, but I listen to just about every genre there is possible. That is possible. I can't English, apparently. I listen to all kinds of music. It just depends on. For me, a lot of what determines if I listen to a song or not is the content of the lyrics. Because I place a great deal of importance on lyrics. What about you guys? I'm not sure if I wanted this back here to also be a part of her jacket, and now I think I did, but I didn't color it blue. I might do that in a second. So what about you? What music are you into? I feel like they're like audible crickets. Let's come here, make it darker and a little more desaturated. Because, you know, don't want it to match perfectly for these little spots on her cuffs. Which I didn't notice that she had until just recently, and I think they're adorable. I think I may wrap up the stream here soonish, because my brain is tired. My brain is still sort of living inside the dream that I had earlier, which is not necessarily a good thing, because it was kind of an awful dream. I like Muse, but I haven't heard all their stuff. I listen to a lot of alternative stuff. Favorite of all time is Muse, and their music has a very dystopian sort of feel. Yeah, I am also still in my emo phase. I don't think it is just a phase. It's not just a phase, Mom. I think I'm just sort of emo through and through. But I do love Muse. I think my favorite from them has got to be Madness. I don't know why, I just enjoy it. But I also like Knights of Sidonia. think music-wise, I like Gorillaz the best. I like Gorillaz too. They're pretty cool. Trying to remember the name of that song now. The Gorillaz one. What's it called? Feel Good Inc. That's what it's called. And then Clint Eastwood as well. I want to hear that song now, but I can't because I'm streaming. Unless I turned off picking up audio from my computer. I don't want to risk it. Let's come and make this part of the blazer. There we go. Now it's a part of our blazer. Very good. I think one of my favorite Muse songs has got to be Madness. I don't know why. It's fun to listen to. I think it kind of resonates as one of those really strange relationships. And I may have mentioned this before, but I enjoy strange relationships. There we go. We have most of a Veronica. She needs skirt and shoes. Feel Good Inc. is one of my favorite songs by Gorillaz. I love the song Love Forever, Love is Free, which makes the whole song feel like it's about being yourself and being free from society standards. Yeah, I like it. I think it's just a lot of fun. I haven't paid attention to the lyrics as much as I probably would have normally because I grew up with that song. Like, there are some songs that I grew up listening to that I didn't pay attention to the lyrics to that sometimes I wish I had. Because, sometimes I listened to some really questionable songs growing up as a direct result of the people around me listening to them. And now I'm like, wow, that was really inappropriate. Like, as a little girl, I used to be obsessed with Christina Aguilera's Genie in a Bottle to the point that I knew every word as a tiny child, and whenever it would come on, I would sing it at the top of my lungs in the back of the car. And I don't think anyone in my family had the heart to tell me that I shouldn't be singing that song as a tiny child. But I was, and now I'm embarrassed. There's probably video of me somewhere. There is video of me as a child singing on YouTube, and I can't find it. I have tried so hard. It's a video of me when I was maybe 6 or 7. No. Younger than that, because it was when we still lived in California, so... Gosh. Wasn't even 5. I guess. I don't remember how old I was, but as a tiny child, there's a video of me standing on a cafe counter singing the song One Day I'll Fly Away. And I'm told it's adorable, but I've never actually seen the footage. I remember doing it, but I've never actually seen the footage. Madness is really good. I like a lot of their really weird songs like Plug-In Baby, Space Dementia, and Megalomania. Yeah, Muse has a lot of really weird songs, but that's what I enjoy about them. I grew up with the Beatles and Nirvana, and I hardly listened to the lyrics of those songs. I grew up with the Beatles, but I always listened to the lyrics because when I was old enough to really appreciate the Beatles, the first time I ever watched them was the first time I was ever really interested in the Beatles, like I actively listened to them, was after I watched the musical Across the Universe. And the lyrics are kind of a huge part of watching the musical. So after that, I started listening a lot more closely to Beatles lyrics. Like the song, I think it's Maxwell's Silver Hammer, or Silver Hammer. Did I say that right? Now I'm like questioning myself. His dark song about a murderer. Nirvana, I don't know. Nirvana is either kind of hit or miss for me, and a lot of people, like my brother, thinks that I'm such a horrible person for saying that, but I don't know. I think there are some of their songs that I really like and some of them that are just not my thing. But I think because Kurt Cobain is no longer with us, people often expect me to be like, oh yeah, they were so great and everything they did was great. And I'm like, but I don't like all of their songs. So, I don't know, it's weird. I feel weird about Nirvana. Ow. I smushed my arm. Ow. I'm trying to plug this thing in, and it's inside a box, and the box closed on my arm. That's really unfortunate. Yeah. Now I'm closing the box on other things. Goodness gracious, you cannot take me anywhere. I have mail. I need to open my mail. Not right now, but I need to eventually. I need to plug in my phone, because my phone is dying. Slowly. Ugh. I need to, stretch my body out. I am, curled up with my drawing tablet. Like a crazy person. Though I might, this is a little bit of a segue, I might be able to get a better computer for streaming so that I can stream not only in higher quality, but more often. Which would make me very happy, because I enjoy streaming a lot. I feel like streaming is one of the things that I enjoy most about YouTube. I've considered getting a Twitch, but I don't know. I've never used Twitch. I'm one of those people that doesn't like change. But I would have to get this computer and, put it together myself, which would be weird. I don't even use a computer to stream, I just use my phone. I do want to use my phone as well. That might be what I have to do for, traditional streams for now, because that's how I film my traditional videos. But what's really frustrating, right now at least, is that I have a good 3 or more hours of traditional footage on my phone right now, because that's what I have to use to record traditionally, because I just don't have a camera. I mean, I have a camera, but it's really outdated, and my phone actually looks much better. But I can't get the videos off my phone, and it's very frustrating, because the one video I did manage to pull from my phone is in the MOV format, so the movie format, instead of a video file or an MP4. So I can't actually use it to edit, so I can post it, which is just really obnoxious. It's really obnoxious. Complaint over. I do want to get a camera, I just need to save up for it, an actual good quality camera. I might ask my grandfather, who's a photographer, see what he recommends. He has done photo shoots of me and my family before. What I find that helps in streaming traditionally is streaming it sped up and then buying the app to speed it down. But what sucks about that is it could make the footage laggy. Yeah, it sounds like that would make it laggy. Ow. Ugh, one of my ribs just popped out of place, and that happens to me a lot, but it hurts. Whew. Filming it, not streaming it. Ah, yeah. That sounds like it would be a little laggy. I can't words. It's okay, I can't words either. My words do not function. I have to, hi Reba. I have to add the pattern into Veronica's skirt. She has this very, like, I don't know how to explain it. This very intense plaid look. Veronica Heathers. Yawn. She has this very, like, intense plaid going on her skirt. Okay, let's just try it. Let's go for it. JD is slowly teaching me I can't draw guns. Yeah, drawing JD's gun was a process for me. I had to look up a reference, and I had the reference on my phone, like, just next to my computer, and I would hold up the reference to the screen a lot. Come on, Frida. Stop lagging. Four, 5. So glad I don't have a reason to draw my, guns with my OCs. I do. I have many reasons. As I was discussing earlier in the stream, I have a dystopia that I am going to be drawing where pretty much all of the characters would be carrying a gun at some point in the series. Because it's dystopia and I think the weirdest part about this dystopian reality that I've come up with is that I came up with it when I was in 5th grade. That's not a joke. I genuinely came up with it in the 5th grade. Which is a story. I can actually tell that story. But I think I'll save it for a video. Because, I don't know, it sounds like an entertaining story. Besides, if I run out of things to say in my OC World introduction, I'll just say it there. My OCs are killers, but thank gosh they all use knives, so guns don't play a part. Yeah. Why am I yawning? It's 4:20 p.m. Yeah, I have a series of medieval characters, I have futuristic characters, I have modern characters. Some of my modern characters don't use guns, some of them do. It all depends on which universe you're talking about. I have a lot of them. Though my next OC introduction, like the universe introduction, is coming out next Friday, and it makes me very happy, and I can't wait. Mine are all swords and bows and melee weapons that isn't modern. Yeah. My original first ever written story was all medieval. This plaid is going to be the death of me. I'm just kind of faking it at this point. Oh shoot, that was supposed to go the other way. Let's fake it. Fake it. Has anyone ever heard that song by Bastille? Fake it. I enjoy that song a great deal. Yeah, I have original characters who are very twisted. I won't lie. I take a great deal of pleasure in creating villains. I don't know what it is about villains, I just enjoy them. I think a good villain is just as important as a good hero. I think if you have a bad villain, your story feels quieter and like lesser in a sense. Not to say that you have to have like a direct villain, but if you're going to have a villain, make them good, you know? I always like to make it, well, not always. Most of the time, I make it so that my villains have a sense of, like, you can relate to them, which is always really important to me. I want to make sure that the reader feels a sense of connection with the villain. Because I like having sympathetic villains. Not all of my stories have sympathetic villains, but when they do, I go all out. My OC story is such a mess. It's like an Orwellian alternate, why did I say it like that? Alternate universe with sci-fi elements and a load of other stuff. Yeah, my OC universes, that's why I have multiple, to be honest, because I have so many stories that are just incompatible with one another. Yep, I'm about to get some more Instagram notifications. I'm just sort of, I have decided I'm done with consistency for Veronica's skirt. It's just gonna have to look the way it looks. Now I have the Bastille song stuck in my head. There we go. My villains are weird, where it's kind of like you could either see them as evil and wrong or side with them because they have legitimate reasons for wanting to kill who they do. Yeah, that's where I stand with my villains most of the time. I want to make it so that when you hear their story, you feel for them. Not all of them, but some of them. I think I'd like to have it so that my villains always have a grain of humanity to them. So you always see at least one thing about them that you could consider that you might even be a little tempted to go, okay, so you were a little redeemable, but not all of them actually are redeemable, if that makes sense. Like, I like to make villains who are morally complicated. Because I'm morally complicated, and that's how I enjoy it. I mean, I'm not actually morally complicated myself. I'm pretty black and white with what or not black and white, but I'm pretty consistent with what I believe. My morality is stringent. Some of my villains are just insane and cause destruction just for the fun of it, and others have their reasons for doing immoral things. Yeah, I think I only have one villain who nowhere throughout their story has any moment of redemption whatsoever. Most of my villains have some sense of understanding, like some sense of you can feel where they're coming from. There is one that at no point do you ever feel bad for her. I don't feel weird saying her. There is no point in her storyline where you feel bad for her. Because she's just sort of evil. She sucks. She's very manipulative and quite vain and power hungry. I think that's suitable for a skirt. That's a suitable skirt. I'll go with it. She has a skirt now. Ugh. I'm kind of tired. I think I have to let my dogs out, so I might leave the stream here for now. Because I don't want to stream for too long. Some of my villains are really nice people, but feel bad for their main friend, and so became evil only to help him in goals, but otherwise would be nice, which is odd. Yeah, that does sound interesting. Interesting. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave the stream here for now. I think I'm gonna pull up. Where's JD? Come here, JD. There you are. So I will leave it here. I will be posting. I probably won't make this into a video because I don't have the whole process of drawing it and coloring it and so on. But I will probably be posting the finished product on my Twitter and Instagram and stuff, and my DeviantArt if I remember. So you can keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here for now. So bye.